Welcome to Serving Up the D. It is September 4th, 2024. Gary, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I've had better weekends of watching football when it comes to our lovely Spartans, but growing pains, I guess you could say.
Yeah. The very inauspicious beginning to the Jonathan Smith era. We'll call it that. I told you via text message after the game, I literally turned my TV off and sat in silence for a good 20 minutes. Was not what I expected. I expected to see more.
Offensively. Defensively, I was actually not unimpressed. They were infinitely better than what they've been over the last few years. But
Yeah,
offensively
offense
was
was
just, it
tough.
was so painful to watch. Childs, take the over. Well, yeah, that didn't work out. I do love how he owned it in the post game when he was asked. He basically took all the onus. It was him. I
Yeah,
like
I
that.
saw
That's
something.
leader. But again, I expected more.
I saw something interesting today. Childs, Velling, Nate Carter, and Montori Foster were the lowest graded PFF players on the entire team.
Let's see.
You got to assume that they're going to be better. Again, like you said, I love Childs' remarks after the game. He was pissed.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too.
He was pissed and disappointed in himself. You could tell. Like to see that, but man, it was a rough beginning. 10 of 24 for what 114 yards,
It was yeah. It
and
was it was not what I expected.
like I said, I after settling down after the game a little bit, come back to reality a little bit. Yeah, there were good things and bad things. Offensively, I just expected so much more. I expected eye candy, some pre-snap motion, some misdirection. Are we ever going to use the middle of the field again in the passing game? Everything to the outside, everything. I loved it. I love that they're going deep. Not afraid to throw it deep.
Be nice if they
Um,
connected.
yeah, you know, first half used the tight ends pretty well. A couple of rollout throws to Masunis. One throw to Velling in the seam in the second half, I think it was. And other than that, really never went back to the tight end. Just disappointed in the play calling, disappointed in offensive line. Um, Pass protection, they did fine. I'll say that. He had time to throw. He did make two or three really nice throws. That throw to Isaiah Johnson, number 11, down on the goal line when he had the guy coming right up in his face off the read option was a beautiful throw. Got to see more of it though. Got to be better against Maryland, or it's going to be a long week, another long Saturday.
Yeah,
'Cause
I it, I'm worried that it's not gonna be fun on Saturday for the Spartans. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Let's just hope one thing happens: that Jonathan Smith goes up 2 scores. I, him not kicking the field goal late, halfway through the
you had a
fourth.
big,
Why are we
you had a
not
bigger problem
going
with it
up
than I did.
9 points? No, you go up 9 points. I don't know what he was
I
doing there.
He said he was trying to establish a mentality.
I
I get it.
that.
I knew
There's
that. I
a
knew
time
that's
and a
what it
place
was.
for it. We don't do that when we're trying. He's trying right now. We're trying to get wins and build the program up, not be tough
True.
guys.
I don't think he'll do it again on Saturday,
No.
and given the same
Well,
situation. Let's put it that way.
in the post game,
He owned it. He owned it though.
Yeah,
He owned it.
which I like. I like the fact that he owned it,
Yeah.
but you can't do that. That's one time. You get a pass. He does that again, and fire and brimstone is coming down. My head will explode because that's coaching malfeasance. You cannot do that. If they score, it could have been a nightmare scenario, and things would be burning and not couches. Like
Like I
you
said,
can't do that.
offensively, it was disappointing. I don't know if it was the receivers not separating. I don't know if it's a product of Smith and Lindgren just not having the wide receiver depth and the kind of wide receivers that they had at Oregon State. I mean, Oregon State, you watched more of it than I did, I'm sure, because you're more of a late night junkie than I am.
the fact that Jonathan Smith made DJU look good, I'll give him props for
yeah,
that.
but I'm saying my understanding of their offense in Florida State was a lot of slot guys getting out in space and a lot of yards after the catch, and it really didn't look like that was what the plan was on Saturday. It was just deep shot, deep shot, deep shot. I mean,
run the ball.
Offensive line wise, they couldn't run the ball
but
unless I don't know if it was the offensive line or if Nate Carter wasn't explosive or decisive enough to hit holes
anymore. He's lost that privilege as far as like I'm concerned. He's not the starter.
You would think, but
like it just comes.
Lynch Adams only had 9 carries, man. He had 19 carries, and Lynch Adams had 9.
I mean, it's
not like
around because the way
it's not like
it looked like one guy was a starting running back and the other guy was the fill-in.
It's not like they rode the hot hand like they said on the broadcast that they were going to. So, but again, back to your point, defensively, reservedly impressed.
We'll see.
Dare I say?
I'm not gonna crush them. They did what they were supposed to do, and
they were in position to. They were in the right positions. That's a huge upgrade from last year already. They were where they were supposed to be.
Exactly.
I mean,
there was no. We weren't watching the other team just mow
guys
down
run
the field.
20 yards free.
Yeah, and there was nobody on them.
Guys weren't running wide open 20 yards free.
There was actually tackles for loss. It was like that stuff we haven't seen in a while.
And I know we had a lot of penalties. I'll forgive some of the late sliding aggression penalties
like every time
with the guy that couldn't wear his helmet
off.
Yeah,
it was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Boop.
And I mean, the real bad side of the defensive side of the ball was the injuries.
Yeah.
Losing 2 guys in the secondary, Majid and Dylan Tatum pretty much for the year.
That hurts.
That sucks. Also, Alante Brown, maybe he was going to be that slot guy that I was referencing earlier on the offense, and he's gone till what they said November in the press conference in his presser this week.
But
I thought defensively it was interesting that they're going to kind of put Jordan Hall in I'm not saying he's Micah Parsons, but in a Micah Parsons type role where they're going to move him around a little bit, use his athleticism on the edge inside as a bit of a chess piece. Interesting. Honestly, something to watch. I mean,
I'm willing to see the growth over the season.
But
we'll find out a lot this weekend. Like Maryland is they looked that last weekend. Like we're going to find out a lot of what the defense is.
But
because they're not just going to go out there
and
hold them down.
I know you're putting a lot into all these other quarterbacks and all these other offenses looking great on week 1. I know we look like dog shit on week 1 offensively, but
I've been on that since before the season started. This wasn't just a week 1 thing. I figured IU would look good,
Maryland
and Purdue would look decent.
Maryland.
Maryland, I wasn't sure. Maryland, nobody knew what Maryland was going to be.
Still don't.
No, we don't, and we'll see more this weekend. Like I said, our defense could be better than we're talking about right now. Like they could be. We're happy with what happened, but they could go out and shut Maryland down, and we're like, damn, maybe we got something here. Or they go out and they get lit up like a candlestick, and we're like, fuck, here we go again.
Again, it's hard to say because Fancher could not throw the ball to save his life.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. All of a sudden, we're looking this week and they've got 500 yards passing, and we're going, what the fuck?
I don't think that's going to happen because, like I said, our secondary was in position.
Yeah.
So
the injuries suck.
Injuries do hurt.
And we're going up against a Big Ten opponent this time. So
yeah,
I'm praying it doesn't go horribly wrong, but
I mean,
we've
got to
back to the beginning again.
Well, we're in one of the winnable game stretches. So
did you watch Boston College? Game,
yeah, I was just going to say it might have shrunk from 4 to 3 on the winnable game.
Went, really different. Watching that Boston College team bully Florida State. They bullied them. I know getting away from Michigan State, but they bullied them. They literally lined up and bullied Florida State. A team that we should have been in the playoff.
But again, what if Florida State stinks?
Possible. possible.
It's
but
extremely possible. Florida State stinks.
going to Tallahassee and bullying Florida State is impressive. Not you can't just be like, well, that's a win for Michigan State on our stand. I have that as a loss now.
No,
like that's a.
I had it as
I don't even have that as a toss.
It was the red.
Yeah, that is
when
the
it was
red
the bandana game.
It's the red bandana game,
Yeah.
and now watching what they did in week 1. Woo.
But if we take a huge jump from week 1 to week 2, if all of a sudden Aiden Childs is making all the plays he makes in practice, then it's a whole nother story again.
That's
I mean, if all of a sudden we're capable offensively. I'm not going to say we're going to be an offensive juggernaut by any stretch because I don't think that's in the DNA of this year's team.
No, but he can't.
So
10 for 24 for 114 yards.
No,
like we're toast. If that's
in two bad picks.
That's
well, one bad pick. I mean, the other one wasn't a pick, but
and that's it because there is no going back. There is no other guy.
Yeah.
This is it. Like what he is the season. Like if he doesn't pan out, we're fucked. Because he's the guy. He's the only guy.
We need him to pan out. We need to pan him out for this year, next year, and potentially even the year after that. So
he needs to be better. Jonathan Smith
I think he will
needs to be better because that was some questionable shit. That could have cost you a win. In my book, that's inexcusable as a head coach. As a head coach at this level, you cannot cost your team wins. You go up 9 points because if the other team scores there, we're fucking throwing things across the room because we lose 17-16. Yeah. Fire and brimstone. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah, not great, Bob. But thankfully, the defense bailed them out. So, got to play well in all 3 phases.
Exactly. And the punter looked good. But yeah, Maryland's going to be a bigger test. We'll have a lot more, I think, to talk about outside of just saying, well, they didn't play good. They sucked. The offense was awful. I think when they play Maryland, we're going to see more. It might be they suck, and we might come back and say the same shit, just in a bigger, on a bigger stage. Because Maryland, Big Ten,
again,
it hurts more if you lose this game.
Again, big jump from week 1 to week 2. Like I said, you
gotta hope.
This is the week you hope to see the most improvement out of your team. So you finally got out and saw what you had. You got film to look at, all that coach speak that you're going to hear. But
just hopefully we see more use of the tight end.
Throw to the middle of the damn field, please. Please. Crossing routes, please. I'm begging you.
Velling is this guy. He's a guy. You get him the ball. Find ways to get him the ball. And it also helps Childs. Finding ways to get your tight end the ball helps your quarterback. He doesn't need to be chucking it 50 yards down the field when he can take a nice 7-yard gain. Like Michigan, we'll get to Michigan in a minute, but Michigan find ways to get the ball to their tight end all the time. It's like literally their safety net. It's the reason they get
DNA.
First downs so much. They get a first down because they just literally find the tight end.
It's that program's DNA, man. That's what they do. They use their tight ends.
No reason we shouldn't be doing the same thing with an NFL caliber
I agree.
tight end. Find the tight end. Literally set up the play where you literally check for the
run the
tight end play.
The touchdown play. Run the tight end play.
Run the tight end play. There should be no reason.
I've been begging for it since Josiah Price left. That and offensive line play, please. Find somebody. And seriously, I mean, a crossing route here and there for a wide receiver is that hard to work in?
One catch for 15 yards. That's not.
Did he even really get targeted?
One catch for 15 yards. That's all. I think he might have been thrown to twice. I think twice in the game he had a pass thrown to him. One wasn't. I don't think one wasn't.
Well, they did throw to,
and the one he caught, and that's it. 15 yards. Boom. Like that's it.
They said he did have a couple of nice rollout throws to Masunas, but other than that, it was chuck it deep, chuck it deep, chuck it deep.
Got to be better.
And he needs to get a little touch on his balls, on his throws too, because kind of.
Got to get a little touch.
No,
on his balls.
Throws. I changed the throws.
Give your balls a tug.
Stop.
They do need to give their balls a tug.
Yes.
Right before the game starts, give your balls a tug.
So dumb. Um, Shorzy references flying left and right now.
Yeah, but we'll find out more. We'll know more this week. There'll
Yeah.
be more, like, right now it's like, yeah, Velling needs to be used more. Again, run the tight end play. We know who our starting running back should be. Whether that'll be the
Do we?
case or not,
I don't think
know.
it's going to happen, though, man.
But how you get 9 carries for 100 yards and you're not going to be the starting guy going forward, I don't know. You got it. You got to try it. You got to put him out there. He literally proved to you that was the guy in week 1. Like,
but he was the guy in the 4th and 1 play that got stuffed though too.
Yeah,
so.
but that comes down a lot to offensive line and then running the type of play you do on 4th down also helps. I don't know. I just again, Maryland will be.
I'm hoping
a bigger measuring stick.
Well, you know my situation. I have a 4:00 Pacific time wedding to go to. Fall weddings.
Yeah, no, fall. Don't get me started. Those people.
So that'll be
those people who have
that'll
fall
be at 12:30.
weddings have no
12:30
respect for everyone else.
We're looking at a 12:30 Pacific time start. So
yeah, those people have no respect
for the Michigan State game that I'm talking.
No respect. No respect given to their fellow man.
It's my daughter. What can I do?
No, but the husband needs to lose his man card. Doing that puts everyone through that. There better be TVs. All right, well, you want to talk about the other team in the state? Because, they were about
West Central, Connor Stalions investigation.
No, what did Mumford lose by? 79 to nothing?
47-9 or something like that.
They were great.
Wasn't... he hadn't had a chance to scout yet.
There was no pre-scouting done. So, yeah,
it's a 3-year payoff, man. 3 years from now, they'll be winning the state title.
Yeah. So Michigan didn't look much better. I mean,
no, they're fine, man.
They're fine. They got a guy who can't throw the ball 6 feet, and their offense is not.
That rollout throw was so bad.
His arm was like.
God, dude was open and he didn't come. He bounced it like 10 feet before his feet. But yeah, it was a rough go for Michigan.
Did you see the look on the receiver's face? Like it was like he literally looked back at him like, "Yep, I've seen that before." He literally looked at him like, "Yeah, I was expecting that."
Dude, you're supposed to run.
He's like, "Why are you?"
Dude, you're the runner.
We all know
you're the runner. Why were you even trying to throw it?
Like Denard Robinson called him and said, "Dude, that was a bad pass."
It was a bad throw, man. In between beers.
I still can't get over if you slow frame the play. His arm is like, it looks like he dislocated his elbow. It was like D1 athlete.
No, but
he can running and things.
But honestly, EA Sports cover boy looked like
our team.
Looked like Donovan Edwards from last year.
He's splash play. If he's open, he's like a.
If you can drive a Mack truck through a hole, he's going to score a touchdown.
You give him a screen pass, and he'll get you some yards. He can't be in the backfield on 1st and 10 and give him the ball. He just doesn't work. They're like us. They have a guy who's behind him, who's better than the guy who's supposed to be the starter.
That's the every down back right there, Mullings.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a better running back. Will
they do it? Again, same situation. Will they do it? Probably not.
Probably not right away, but eventually I think eventually both, if they don't. Their biggest issue is their quarterback. Well, their offensive line is not what it was either. So they're in trouble. I think they're in trouble this week. I think Texas is coming to town to lay them out.
Well, that's just the thing. Against Fresno, Michigan's held Fresno to like 22 rushing yards, but they got thrown on. They got thrown on for a lot. They got thrown on for like 230 yards. by some 4 foot tall quarterback from Fresno.
Yeah, and Fresno and Texas are like,
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but if Texas can't run the ball, I don't. What are they going to throw for?
oh, it's gonna be that game. I think that game's over at halftime. I don't think Michigan's as good as some people are giving them credit for. They lost too much. It's just too hard.
Yeah,
To
18
just
starters.
expect these guys to come in, and by week 2, you got a full offensive line to rebuild. Quarterbacks who, God, if you're playing orgy at quarterback, you're fucked. And Davis Warren, he just doesn't look ready. I mean, he might be capable of as being like a Cade type guy, but he's just not ready now. He didn't look ready. None of them, their quarterback play was just bad. It was just as bad as our quarterback play, but at least we know we're stuck with this guy. Like, he's our guy, whereas they don't know who the fuck is going to be throwing the ball. Like, our team at least knows Childs is going to be throwing the ball this Saturday and the following Saturday and the following Saturday, whereas they don't know who's going to be throwing the ball.
But to our point earlier, Michigan runs the tight end play for their quarterback. So
Which that's the one reason that Warren had any really yards, was because he would just look for the tight end.
any success? Where's Colton?
Yep, look for him.
Or Colston,
Throw
whatever
him
the
the
fuck
ball.
his name is. Where's 18?
Where's Loveland?
We'll just call him 18.
Where's Loveland? Like, he had 8
Yeah.
for 87 yards. That was their offense right there. That was their entire offense. Look for him.
And
Throwing
Mullings
the ball.
and Mullings on that drive in the fourth quarter had a couple of
Yes.
like 30 yards on like 2 carries or something like that. So
But they run the tight end play.
I don't know. Again, don't know what Michigan's really going
I
to be.
think
Their
we'll
defense
know.
is still
We'll know this
defense is still pretty. Their defense is still stout. You can't say they're not.
No, they're
Will
still,
Johnson.
their
Will
defensive
Johnson. I'm not
line
sure.
is Sick, like awesome. Now the edges, they got to play with.
Stewart's
But
pretty good.
That middle, that interior defensive
Josiah
line is
Stewart's
just
pretty good.
fucking monstrous. They move the fucking
And where'd-
pocket right back into the quarterback's lap.
And where'd number 1 come from? That Barnum, whatever his name is, man. The dude that's like 6'3", 245 pounds and runs like the wind. Where do they get these guys, man? I guess when you can recruit 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah, but like us, we'll know more about them. I think, like I said, I think Texas lays the fucking wood. I think they're going in there.
I mean,
and they're
you're-
gonna smack them in the mouth. I could be completely wrong.
You're
and look like
looking
a
at-
big asshole, but I think this
But
is
you're
the
gonna look at,
beatdown
like I said,
that a lot of anti-Michigan people have been waiting for, and it's coming this Saturday.
Texas is going to run some wide receivers out there at them that Michigan hasn't probably seen the likes of. Well, what am I talking about? They played Washington and Ohio State at the end of the year. So, but they'll see Isaiah Bond again from the transfer from Alabama. A slot guy from Oregon State, Silas Bolden, is at Texas now as well.
And they won't.
There's going to be some guys. There's going to be some guys they have to account for, and they got Dr. Blitz back apparently with Wink. With Wink there, he's blitzing like 60% of his 60% of the defensive snaps. So do that against an experienced quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. This isn't Fresno. This is Texas,
Yeah.
and they're gonna block, and they're gonna make plays. And Will Johnson's not going to be jumping
Make
any
plays.
little tiny routes, because if he does, it's going to be pump and go, and it's going to be gone. So
Yeah,
he can't squat. He's
I know
not going to be
everybody
squatting
I know
on anything against Texas. And if
I
he
know
does,
everybody
he's
loves
fucked.
him, but like I told you on Saturday, isn't that like all he does is just jump routes?
He squats. He just sits
For the
there
most
and
part?
he waits and then gets it. They had him beat like 2 or 3 times that game
Oh,
deep. If the quarterback
badly.
makes a better throw, they're touchdown plays. The one in the end
Yeah.
zone should have been a touchdown. He burned him so bad. The one like
Yeah, if they throw it
And
to
he
the
went-
pylon, it's or throw
and
throw it to the back of the
receiver just
end zone,
couldn't
it's
get
a
it.
touchdown.
If he puts that 2 feet over, that's touchdown play.
Inside,
Boom.
he throws it more inside, it's a touchdown.
And he burned him. He was so out of the picture when he cut. He was gone. Johnson was like, "Oh shit," because he did the same thing. He squatted and he thought the pass was going to go in, and the receiver took off down the field, and he was like, "Oh
Well,
shit." The quarterback
it's a
just
product
didn't
of
make
Michigan
the fucking throw.
He's able to get away with that now at Michigan because Michigan's always had such a good defensive line, and they can get such a pass rush on these
So they got to get it
quarterbacks
out
that
quick.
he doesn't
They
have
don't
to.
have time.
He doesn't have to cover deep. He doesn't have to cover deep. He gets to the NFL. He's going to have to
Oh, he's going to be. I still think
cover
he's going
for.
to be a good player. I'm not going to throw him under the bus.
I'm not saying he
But he's not
sucks.
like
but he's
this.
gonna
Even
be
like this coming week, not even the NFL. This coming week, he's not going to be able to just sit on these routes because, like you said, they're not getting the pass rush. So the quarterback has a little more time to get the ball down the field.
He's Trayvon Diggs, man. All he wants to do is jump routes and get picks, and
it worked.
You either look great or you look
and
bad.
And it worked this week. It worked.
Yeah.
And he saved that, made the score look a lot better than what it should have been.
He did. But that's how Michigan wins a lot of games. So
yeah, but like I said,
with the late scores and whatnot,
there's going to be a big difference this week. And like I said, a lot of fans who don't like them are going to be enjoying this one because it's been a while since we've seen someone kick their fucking teeth in, and I think it happens this weekend. I just don't think they can match up.
I don't think they can score enough points to beat them.
And that's the thing. They've controlled the ball for so long these last 3 years where, like, they would get the lead and they would just run the game out. You just don't have a chance. They'd suffocate you.
Yeah.
Whereas
they're
not
couple of 6-7 minute drives.
They even were doing it to Fresno where it was like they'd get the ball and they'd try and, like, at the end of the game.
At the end of the first half.
Yeah.
End of the first half and into the end of the game.
Where they can just bludgeon you, but they're not doing that. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna have the lead enough to be able to do that. They're gonna have to throw the ball and open it up a bit. It's not gonna be where we're up 10, we're always up double digits, we're always up 10 or 12 or 13, and we can just keep grinding the game down. Every time a team scores, we just kind of come back and kick a field goal or go back up 2 scores. That's what it seems like it's been for. Which, give them credit, that's how you win. We did that with D'Antonio. It was like we always just seem to always have that lead.
Speaking of field goals, where do they get these kickers too? Good Lord.
And they're playing that kid's Arkansas State. And I think they actually have them on the schedule.
Is that where he came from?
They have them on the schedule too. That kid's got a fucking cannon. Like,
yeah, he's a weapon, man.
Anything, 50-yard field goals, it was like, they just send them out, bang.
But no, around the Big Ten, what'd you think? What'd you think of the 17-1 Big Ten over the weekend?
The
thanks,
ACC
PJ.
got that huge victory.
Thanks, PJ.
Over the Barber. But what did I think? I think there's some teams in the Big Ten that people are going to be surprised that they're better than what is expected, like Indiana and Purdue and Rutgers. Rutgers didn't even look good. Rutgers was like Michigan and what we did. They were slow and sluggish. Nebraska, the team you thought was going to be a good 10-win team. Nebraska looked good. You didn't get to see a ton of it because it was hidden because of the rain delay.
Iowa scored 40 points.
Iowa
scored 40 points.
Iowa.
34 in the second half, so.
But I think IU is going to be good.
But USC's looked a lot better than I thought they would.
Oh, that was USC. I think USC, well, they're another team that plays Michigan that's not going to be fun for Michigan, I don't think. Yeah, USC looked good. Ohio State looked like they don't give a shit and they know they're just going to make the playoffs. It was almost like they were just going through we're going to win this game by 30 and it is what it is. We'll just
pretty much.
Let's get to January.
Ho hum, just another five-star receiver that's unbelievable.
Game or whatever. Like they were just kind of going through the motions. We'll get there. They know they're going to win, then go to that at Oregon game as their season really starts there.
Dylan Gabriel with the least impressive 41 for 49 for 400 yards performances you'll ever see.
They just couldn't score.
Yeah, they went up and down the field on them, just couldn't punch it in.
But Boise can score. Would the running back for Boise have like 1 million yards?
6 touchdowns and like 7,000 yards or something.
So, Oregon's got a handful this week, so I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
But... Yeah, What a weekend to be at a wedding.
Wasn't
Yay,
the
me.
Oregon game like late? I don't even know what time that game's at, but
I hope so, because I'll be out of once the cake comes, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
yeah, let's see here. Oregon game. It is 10 p.m. Eastern. So
Well, it's either at Austin or Boise, so it's going to be late.
But yeah, it could be like the 4:00 game, which is like noon or whatever. No, it's 10 p.m. So it'll be what's that? 7 o'clock your time.
7 o'clock.
So it'll be 7 o'clock.
Peaches.
So yeah, what else was there? IU started slow, but then they looked decent. Purdue, I like what they did.
Northwestern got a win in their
talking
temporary
about
stadium.
Penn State, like, decent.
Oh, your national champion pick? Yeah, that's why we're not talking about
Yeah, Penn State, come on. No, they go into West Virginia, not easy.
No, that was a big win.
Like, so the Big Ten,
Big win.
The Big Ten looked good. Good. Okay, now let's step outside the Big Ten. Did anybody impress you from the rest of college football?
Georgia,
like
always.
Georgia, Bama.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Bama.
Bama.
Boston College impressed. Georgia Tech won again. Sheamus was out there.
Didn't Auburn beat somebody like 73-3 or something like that?
It's one of those like schools of the deaf and blind. The
pretty much everybody outside the Big Ten.
Oh, Notre Dame. Notre Dame going into Texas A&M.
Oh,
yeah. Notre Dame's a playoff team right now. They're not going to. USC is the only other game on their schedule where they got to be like,
Just go ahead and write them in as the number 5 seed.
They're not going to lose 3 times. So
they won't lose. They might not lose twice. If they lose once, I'll be surprised.
It'll be the USC game probably, depending what USC is come later on. Florida State's nothing.
Freeman's built well. I wish we could play Florida State.
They go at USC, so that's the last game of the year. That's
that's going to be tough.
But they could be undefeated getting to that game and not give a shit because they're in.
But before we crown USC, even though I got to see what LSU looks like against other good teams as well, because maybe LSU stinks. Brian Kelly sure stinks.
Stinking is like the 3rd best team in most other conferences if you really look at it man for man. You put LSU in the ACC, they probably run away with the ACC.
But what if LSU goes 7-5 in the SEC?
I think 7-5 LSU, if you put them in the ACC, they win 10 games. Maybe 11.
Fair enough. Fair
Big
point.
12, 9 or 10. Big 10, no.
Fair point.
But again, so
maybe.
Like, I look at it as you can say, well, LSU might not be this, might not be that, but LSU's still better than a lot of teams. They just play in a conference where they're going to end up being like the 6th or 7th best team because there's just that conference is loaded this year. Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, Ole Miss, like that conference. That's the one that they could get 5 teams in the playoff. Like I said before,
left out Texas and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma will fade off as the season goes, I think. Texas, yeah. See, that's the thing. The SEC, you could literally have an own playoff with just the SEC and Ohio State and what Oregon is. We're thinking Gabriel will figure it out, and that whole they'll score.
Figure what out? He went 41 for 49.
Points. He'll figure out how to run the touchdown play.
Okay.
No, he knows how to get a lot of yards. You figure out how to get the touchdown play.
My guy went 10 for 24, okay? 40. I'd love to have a guy go 41 for 49 in green and white.
No shit.
Not green and yellow.
But, fuck. And then you go out to Arizona. Oos and Oos putting up huge numbers. Yeah, it was New Mexico.
Yeah, didn't Sam Levitt put up big numbers too?
Arizona State?
Or at least good numbers. 22 for 27 or something like that.
304 yards.
Levitt did?
No, McMillan. The 10 receptions for 304 yards as a receiver.
You and your love of the Samoans.
Arizona's my sneaky 2 team. When Michigan State is completely gone and out of it in like 3 weeks, I'm all on board. Arizona, I'm gonna have Arizona gear on.
You have your Ulafala. We're wearing the Ulafala. Oh God, here we go. Oh, I thought you had one.
Go. We're ready to go.
Thought you were busting out the Ulafala.
That'll be next. That'll be. I told you once our season is over, I will come on here dressed like that. Did you see what the head coach was wearing?
You told me about it. I have not seen it. I did not see the pictures.
They were the head of the table. It was awesome. The head coach had like giant flowers on his. It was great. He's all in.
That is awesome.
He's just all in with it. The Polynesians are just all coming there. But yeah, no, 304 yards and 10 receptions and 4 touchdowns. Woo! What a game.
September Heisman.
Bet on it. And Fafita, 422 yards. Damn. I wish if he was bigger than 5'9", he'd be a NFL prospect, but 5'9's not gonna cut it.
Can't believe they didn't follow Fish, but
why would they? Look what they're doing. I think he knew he had a thing where everything is set up. You follow him, you got to start all over from scratch and hope that the lines are good. And he knew what he had. In Arizona, they're going to put up huge numbers. It's whether the defense is going to hang around.
Yeah.
They're going to put up fucking numbers on everybody. That offense is crazy good, but can they stop enough? It's like USC. Are they going to stop enough teams? But if USC's D played like they did this week, whew, there's another team in the Big Ten. We were trying to figure out how Michigan doesn't get in if they get 9-3, if they're 9-3. USC's a reason why they don't get it. Penn State, Ohio State, Big Ten's not getting 5. No way. Someone's getting left out.
You think?
It's so good to see football back on TV. The NFL starts tomorrow. It's exciting times.
I'll be traveling the next day and a half. So,
are you flying?
Yeah.
I was gonna say day and a half. What are you fucking?
I gotta go to
7 transfers.
Just going to my brother's tomorrow night. Staying there in Brighton, and then driving to the airport from there because it's an early flight into Vegas, and then another flight to San Diego. So.
Are you staying in Vegas?
San Diego.
Straight, hour layover.
I did 2 round trip tickets. It's like a 3-hour layover till we fly to San Diego, and then Tuesday we go back to Vegas. So
good times.
Stay there for a couple of days. So shoot for a Friday pod next week.
Alrighty, sounds good, my man. You got anything else to add to this delightful show? Nothing. Lions.
Lovely Leos.
Talk about the Lions for a minute.
I really don't have much more than what we talked about last week, but
to say right now. Stafford's coming to town. Kelly's not coming because she doesn't want to get booed.
Thank God.
Boo!
Fuck her.
Boo her kids! Boo!
Good.
They booed my kids! Boo!
It's probably one of the smarter things. I'm not going to call her names. It's probably one of the smarter things she's ever done.
I think Matthew told her to stay home. To be honest, he probably said, "I think."
Do you really think?
He said you should sit this one out.
Do you really think he tells her what to do?
No, not on most occasions. But I think he probably said, "Babe, it's week 1. I'd probably sit this one out." If they meet in the playoffs again, she'll be here with bells on, saying people booed her kids. But I think it's week 1, and I think he probably said, "Listen,
hope they give him
it's week 1.
Hope they give him a highlight. Hope they give him a highlight package now because she won't be there."
Thank you, Matthew.
She won't be there to see.
Thank you for winning absolutely nothing.
Thank you for being trade bait to get us Jared Goff. I mean,
Sunday night. Should be fun.
She tried to bang his back up at Georgia. Can you believe that shit?
Matthew. Oh. She cucked Matthew with his back up. Good times.
I know.
Good times.
Good. Love her so much. She's such a good person.
Oh, on that note.
Anywho.
On that note, we'll call it a day.
What did I say? What did I say?
When we get into Kelly Stafford cooking I think it's time to end the show.
I hate her so much.
She's delightful. People booed her kids. She was just upset. Just upset.
Nobody booed her kids. They probably would have this time, so it's probably
her.
smart. She's
They booed you.
I know.
Not your kids. Your kids are delightful.
Oh.
I'm sure they're wonderful little children. They booed you, bitch.
I'm sure.
God damn.
Come on.
All right.
They booed my children.
Stay in LA.
Yeah.
Stay in LA.
Yeah, put one of those hash browns on this thing.
Package it up.
Send it
to the internet.
Package it up. Send it to the internet.